Camera. This video is going to help you learn how to compare and order fractions. Now these three signs that you see here may look very familiar because we've used them with whole numbers in the past, but we have to learn what these signs mean if they're all by themselves. We have to learn that this is the greater than sign. We have to learn that this is the less than sign. And this one's easy, you know, equal to. We can't use the alligator gets the biggest fish anymore because we're past that. We have to know it's greater than. The way I remember it is I read it from left to right just like I read numbers, and this side's bigger. Bigger is a synonym for greater, so this is greater than. If I read this sign from left to right, this side's smaller, it's less, so it's less than. Maybe that'll help you. But we have to know these signs mean greater than, less than, or an equal to, because this is what we use when we compare and order fractions. We've used them to compare and order whole numbers also, but now we're going to use them with some fractions. First, we're going to talk about comparing fractions with like denominators. The denominator is the number on the bottom. And when you compare fractions with like denominators, all you have to do is compare the numerator. So if the numbers on the bottom are the same, your denominators are the same, all you have to do is look at the numerator. So let's look at an example. If I'm going to compare 1/3 and 2/3, well, let's look down here. We know it takes 3 to make a whole, so I have 3 circles. Now look at the number of red circles. Here I've shaded in 1/3. Here I've shaded in 2/3. Well, that's easy to see that there are more here. So if I compare the number of red circles, I can see that 1 is less than 2. So 1/3 is less than 2/3. So all I have to do when my denominators are the same is just look at the numbers on top. I can see that 1 is less than 2. Now we're going to talk about if we have fractions that have different denominators. So we're going to compare fractions with unlike denominators. And there's a few different ways that we can do this. First way is when we use the fraction bars in class and you're working with those, you can see that the larger row represents the greater fraction. So here our red fraction bars are always red, and the red fraction bars are equal to 1. The blue fraction bars are equal to 1/2, and the orange fraction bars are equal to 1/3. So if I'm wanting to compare my same fraction again, I want to compare 2/3 and 1/2. Okay, so I want to compare these two so that I can tell which one's smaller and which one's greater. I put my 1 down, then I lay down my 1/2, and then I need 2 of the orange bars because the orange bars are thirds and I have 2 of those. So you'll see I have 1 orange bar, 2 orange bars, so this is equal to 2/3. Well, now it's easy to see. I can just compare the sizes of the bars. Here's 1/2. If I put those together, that's 2/3. So if I look at this and I'm going to compare these fractions with different denominators, I'm going to look at this and I'm going to say 2/3 is greater than, less than, or equal to 1/2. So if I look, my orange bars go all the way out to here, and I have this space where the 1/2 doesn't fill in. So I can easily see that 2/3 is greater than 1/2. So that's using your fraction bars. Another way is to use a number line. When you put your fractions on a number line, you can easily see where they are in order, and that's what you're going to have to do. Once you find which one's bigger, which one's smaller, greater than, less than, you're going to need to put those in order. So back to my 1/3 and 1/2, I can see I have 0 on my number line here, I have 1 here, and all of my fractions go in between because fractions are less than 1. So if I count over, I have 1/3 here, here's 1/2, and I would go on up the number line. Well, it's easy to see here, the fraction farther to the right is the greatest fraction. the fraction closest to 1 is bigger. It's closer to being the whole number. So I can see easily that 1/2 is much closer. So since 1/2 is closer to 1 on the number line, 1/2 is greater than 1/3. Because 1/3 smaller, it's further away from the 1. And this way. This way is called the butterfly method. I think you're going to like it. We're going to compare fractions with different denominators. They've got different numerators. Just all kind of different things going on there. So we're going to compare these. You're going to see in a second why this is called the butterfly method, and I think you're going to like it. What I'm going to do is I'm going to cross multiply on my fractions. So the easiest thing to do, I'm going to circle here, and I'm going to circle here. Can you kind of see the butterfly? And I'm going to give him some antenna. Now I have my butterfly. But now what do I do? Well, now it's easy because you know your basic multiplication facts and you're just going to put those to work. So 3 times 5 is 15. So I'm going to put that over my 3. Whatever my top over my numerator that I've just multiplied, I'm going to put my answer there. 4 times 2 is 8. So I'm going to put that product there. Now all I have to do is compare these two products. Well, 15 is greater than 8. So up here I have this. Okay? And then that just tells me that now I know 3/4, there it is greater than 2/5. So you make your loops. You connect one numerator to the other denominator, and then you connect that numerator to the other denominator, and then you multiply. So my factors 3 and 5 give me the product of 15, and the factors 2 and 4 give me the product of 8, and then I just compare the two products, and that tells me what I need to know about my fractions. So let's try a couple more of these so we know we have it right. I'm going to compare 5/6 to 4/5. I'm sorry, 5/6 to 4/5. And you can see those look like they're probably pretty close on the number line, but we have to know which one is greater. So I'm going to draw my butterfly wings. And I'm going to draw these butterfly wings. Don't forget the antenna, because that's going to hold my answer in. So if I say 5 times 5, my product is 25. My factor is 6 times 4. It's going to give me the product of 24. So you can see they are close, but 25 is more than 24. So I know that 5/6 is greater than 4/5. Probably not by much, but it is greater. All right, one more. 2/6 compared to 1/3. So I can get them in order. I'm going to do 2 times that 3. I'm going to do 1 times that 6. Got my wings in. Now I got to do my antenna. My antenna. Numerator times denominator. 2 times 3. My product is 6. 6 times 1. My product is 6. So if my products are equal, what does that tell me about my fractions? It tells me that my fractions are equal. 2/6 is equal to 1/3. So 2/6 and 1/3 are equivalent fractions. I hope you enjoy the butterfly method.